Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Athar Iqbal. As we discussed in the previous lecture, the basic concept and understanding of portfolio management. And when we say portfolio, so Markowiitz portfolio theory is very important for the conceptual understanding that what is the background of this portfolio. Markowiitz initially worked on this one, and in this lecture we will understand the fundamental assumptions and the fundamental structure of portfolio making process. So investor apply probability distribution on each investment alternative return that might turn up in future. This can be taken as his expectation of return in future, and as you know, this is important because investor is always working on future expectations. So the first assumption is related to this concept. Under Markowiitz portfolio model, investor maximize one period return that may be taken as 1 year, and wealth will increase based on the assumption of diminishing marginal utility. The third assumption is related to risk of the portfolio. Risk of the portfolio is calculated on the expected return and generally use variance or standard deviation of expected return for this purpose. And since we are already familiar with the calculation of standard deviation and variance, so this part is already under our knowledge. Decision is taken based on by the investors on the basis of return of the portfolio and risk of the portfolio. This part is important, that whenever we are working on Markowiitz portfolio theory, we always take only two information: the one, the return that we are expecting from a particular investment, and the second thing which we will consider will be the risk that is calculated with the help of a standard deviation of variance. So these two informations will be taken for the decision whether we should make investment in this or not. And the last part, which is very important and being a student should be in our mind whenever we are discussing any portfolio theory. This assumption is related to that investor prefer higher return compared to low return. Remember that whenever we say that investor will prefer higher return compared to low return, we always keep it in mind that the risk should be same in both the cases. And as I discussed earlier in previous lecture, you will find it that in case if the return and risk both are varying, then we move to coefficient of variation to find out which investment is much better for the investor. But in simple case, if we take that the risk in both two investments are same, then whichever investment is giving me more return will be preferable.